Welcome back. This is part 2, and today we are going to be dealing with importing archives and visualizing products on EMA 1.3.1. In the previous version, we successfully downloaded and installed the standalone version of the EMA client, and for now, we are going to try and import data into this version and to be able to visualize this data. To be able to do that, we're going to go back to our web browser because it's more or less running a web interface. Most of the stuff that we're going to be doing would be in the web browser. So for this purpose, I would be using Google Chrome. It's my preferred choice of web browsers. So I'm just quickly going to open it. I'm just quickly going to set this as default. Okay. Then we're going to type in the address to be able to log into EMA, and that is localhost the colon 8080 and slash EMA in caps. So this is going to bring us to the main page, the home page, and we're going to actually navigate into the main functionality over here that's called EMA. Okay, so this is the main page in which we'll be visualizing the products. But before we do that, I would quickly want us to import some products or some archives in there. But before we do so, I'd also want us to take notice of this, that before we imported the archive, although this interface is showing, there is no data in any of the tabs over here. So if you look under any of the tabs here, you realize that there's no data in here that can be displayed, and that's why we need to import the data first. Okay, so from the previous video, I showed you where and how to download some of this data from. In case you forgot, I'm still going to go back quickly into the various parts that we can download the archive data from, and by logging in into the GRC FTP site, I think I'll just quickly pull out the credentials over here. By using these credentials, you should be able to log in into the GRC FTP site, and from there you're going to navigate into eStation 1.0, into the subdirectory archives, standalone, and under Africa you're going to see over here we've got some data listed in here. So all these listed in here are data archives that you can download and import into the standalone software. I've already downloaded some of this data already, so I'm not really going to download it from here since I've done that already. So we're going to go into the folder where I downloaded some of these data. So it's going to come as a compressed file like we have here, the FuseNet _RFE 2012-01. So what you do is we're going to extract this data. Okay, so we're going to just make sure you can use any software for this, WinRAR, WinZip, 7Z, it can all do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to extract into the folder, or we make sure we extract to the same folder name. We don't extract into the root folder so that we have all the content spread everywhere. So we make sure whatever we extract, it goes into a folder with the same name. So I'm just going to cut this and just paste it here, otherwise I'm going to have two of the same folders here. Okay, that seems about right. So to be able to import, we need to get into the administrator side. To be able to use most of the administrator tools to be able to import, you need to have logged into a particular account, an administrator account to be specific. So I'm just going to go back and load another tab for the EMA over here, and in this page now I'm not going to click on EMA. I'm going to come here to the part that says administration. So I'm going to click over here. Okay, so it's going to ask me to log in. So it says please log in as administrator. So I've got the administrator credentials over here. So the username is admin user and the password is admin. So you're going to enter these credentials over here. So like I said, the username is admin user and the password is admin. So if you're able to do that successfully, it's going to tell you welcome admin user, and then you can actually see that there's a pane on the left here which is going to have legends, products, time series, layers, user interface translations, users, and system settings. First I'm going to take you, actually I'm going to start from the bottom. So I'm going to take you into the system settings first, because it's very important that you know the paths, and especially where you want to sort of locate your archives. So over here, the default location of the archives is, if you look here, it says the path settings. So the default location for the archives is going to be on drive C in the data folder and in a folder called archive. So if we want to import archived data, we actually need to put that data into this specific path. If we have the data at a different path, then we would need to indicate that path in this particular location so that it can point to that directory and we can do that import from that particular path. Okay, so since we know the path for the archive data, we're now going to copy all the extracted products, and we're going to go to drive C, into data, and into, you see over here, C, data, and archive. We're going to place all the archived products that we've extracted. We're not going to put the zip files, but rather the extracted files into that particular folder. That's why I extracted the example first, being the FuseNet, and now we're going to paste them into this particular archive folder. Okay, so whilst that is copying, we're going to go back and look at the other parts. So it actually tells you where most of the things are located. So for the path to the site, you're going to find it in the ms4w in the folder Apache, htdocs, and under the subdirectory Emma. Other data paths, then there's the static data path, and there's the predefined regions and all that. So this is where you're going to find most of the stuff that you're looking for defined in those particular paths. So I'm going to more or less pause and fast forward whilst this thing is copying. Then when we come back, we're going to look at how to actually import the data. Okay, so we're back and we've been able to successfully copy all the files that we downloaded into the archive folder. So we're now going to try and import all the files that we copied. So go back into the administration tool, and from now we're going to go to the tab that says products. Okay, so under the products tab, we're going to click on import archive. So when we click on import archive, we're now going to realize that there's a list over here that's populated now with the product archive and their respective file sizes. So I'm going to import this particular product, and it is important to note that you can only import one product at a time. So I'm going to import a selected number of products that we are going to visualize for this lesson. So for this lesson, we're going to start off with importing the FuseNet. Okay, so we select FuseNet and we click on import. You're going to see this progress bar with the product being imported. It's going to take a couple of minutes, not too long. That's going to indicate that is done. Okay, So that's the import result. It imported 12 product files. So we click on OK, and we can import another. So we're going to choose to import the NDVI. So click on import. Okay, so that was also very quick. It's imported 12 files, and click on OK. Okay, then you close that particular tool. So when you close it, is going to give you some information on the import that has been done. So we can click on the little plus sign over here to reveal most of the sub products in there. Like under the fuse net, we've got daily rainfall, we've got the cumulative monthly, we've got 1 month difference and all that. We can also have a look at the NDVI and the evapotranspiration data. So one thing to notice, at times some of the products might be hidden, so it's good that you click on this little pencil and you make sure everything is in order and there's an assigned legend, and this little box over here is not checked. If it is, it will be hidden and you wouldn't be able to visualize this product in the front end. So you always make sure that when it's green here, it means that everything is okay and the product will be visible in Emma. Okay, so we'll go back to the front end. Let me just do a quick refresh on this one just to make sure that everything we imported has now loaded over here. Okay, so back to the main interface. I'd like to quickly take you through the various parts of the interface. So on the left here we have the navigation pane, where we have the map, the area in view. You can change the map sizes from extra small to extra large. Also, we have the cursor position, which actually shows the position, the latitude and longitude positions where your cursor is moving to. So you realize that as I move the cursor along the map, the latitudes and longitudes also change. Then we also have the predefined regions. Although the data that you might be viewing might be coming from different regions, you might choose to add predefined regions and limit it to the view to that particular area, or also to put maybe country or region boundaries. So for instance, if I tick on ECOWAS and click on display regions, it's going to bring out the ECOWAS boundary for me with the countries in there. Okay, so let me just disable this, then we can progress. Also, very importantly, we've got the zoom, so we can zoom more into an area or more into a feature, and we can choose whether to zoom in or to pan within the image. We've got extra panning options over here to navigate through the image. This side over here is the main map view, where the selected products will be displayed once they're shown. So I think I would go directly to the image pane, select a product, then we can actually see what's like. So we're going to select on rainfall estimate, then choose daily rainfall estimate. So then we come to a date. We have to select, make sure we select a year, a month and a day. If you do not do that, it's going to give you an error. So like for instance, I chose only a year, I didn't give a month and a day, so it gives me that okay, there's a mandatory field and you need to give a month as well as a day. So we're just going to abide by that. Choose January, and because it's a 10-day product, it comes in every 10 days, so we're going to have like 1, 11 and 21. Okay, so there's already a legend because this is the default legend that was assigned to that product. There's already a legend that's assigned, so we don't need to. But in cases where there are one or more legends, you might decide to choose the most appropriate legend over here. When we're done, we'll just click on apply, and then the image or the product is going to load in the view over here. So if we then want to add the predefined regions to this map, then we can probably, I like to click on ECOWAS a lot because that's where I'm from. So we can click on ECOWAS, then click the regions, so then you can see the daily rainfall estimates around the ECOWAS region. Okay, so I think I'm going to go back and try and add some more product archives. So this time round I'm going to add sea surface temperature. Yes, so I'm going to import this. Okay, so I've been able to successfully import modest sea surface temperatures as well. So from here we realize that there's one sub-product there, and from this we can actually edit also and put in extra information over here. We can change or put the best information that we think, or the information we think is most relevant over here. Now we're just going to go back quickly and visualize the modest sea surface temperature. So we select random dates, it's an assigned legend, and we're going to apply that. But one thing that we realize over here is that at times not all the legends are good enough for the image that you made, so there's an opportunity, or there's a chance for you to also create your own legends and attach them to particular products. So we're going to over here assign a new legend to a product. You can create your own legends, you can import legends if you want to do so. There's no restriction as to you using the existing legends in there. So I've already created a legend that I'm going to import. So I'm just going to navigate to the legend file that I already made. So it's called modus SST, and we're going to import this legend. Actually, this legend was created by the Mauritius Oceanography Institute, and this they shared with us. So that's the legend that I am currently using. So I'm just going to edit the name over here to modus SST, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so that was successful. Now we'll go back to products, where I'm going to assign the legend that we just added to this particular product. So we have the sea surface temperature over here. Now there's this tab here with the plus, where I'm going to click to assign the legend, and you scroll through the list, and that's the legend that we just added, the modus SST 1 kilometer, and we're going to assign that particular legend. So we realize that now the legends for sea surface temperature are actually 2. We can select which one goes as default, or we can even delete and only leave one legend. So I'm just going to save this. Okay, that's done. And then now I'm going to go to sea surface temperature for a particular year, month and day, and I realized I've got 2 legends here, the first one and now the new one that I added. So I'm going to apply this. Okay, and then maybe we can also go back and view the difference. So you realize that I think the second one is now giving us more changes and more unique differences in temperature. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. We've been able to successfully import and visualize products in Emma. Thank you very much.